Hey everybody, this I'm doing a video. I'm doing live. If you see me pausing, it's because I'm on a public Wi-Fi here. I'm at a hotel. My daughter has a play date, and I was here sitting on the and my topic today is should you cut up the credit cards? And I may end up altering the title because another piece that I want to talk about is what you don't understand about money. And so a girlfriend and I was talking, and she has shared with me something that her minister is doing. It's a money series that's going on in her church, and I thought it was great because so many of us, depending on what type of faith you may have, the subject about money is rarely talked about. And I, of course, I can't speak of all religions and different types of spiritual or religious practices, but I will say that a large part of the conversation of money and religion is very taboo. And so I thought it was great that she had a minister that was discussing it. And so when she sent it to me, she said that disregard the piece about cutting up your credit cards. And so when her and I, hey, how you doing? I see Tennessee on here, Philip Bobbitt. Hey, how you doing? And so when her and I talked live, and she went on to talk about the cut up the credit card piece. I told her I totally agree. Many of the financial experts out there, on this channel, I talk a lot about credit cards. I talk about how you can rebuild, after you have faced some type of financial devastation, and a lot of times it's with credit cards. And so many of the financial experts have taught people that once you get to the point that you have got rid of your debt, and you have rebuilt your credit, that any new credit that you get, you should just cut up the credit. A very surface statement, because, and I want to say it's very elementary, because you have to know the level of financial understanding. That's why I always share with people, and I've been teaching this for years, that if you decide to become a student, it's much bigger than credit. If you decide to be a student of how the financial system works in this country in terms of economics, the monetary system, along with credit, you don't have to subscribe to cut up your credit cards, because see, the people who have to cut up their credit cards, they don't have no financial discipline, and they almost have no financial education. And I know I'm stepping on some toes, and I know that my message may be very polarizing. See, many of us do not want financial education. The reason why is because it's very painful. It goes against a lot of what we have been told. See, if you have been in a community or in a household, or even as you as an adult, and you still somewhat congregate around people who have a very uncomfortable relationship with money, a very elementary relationship with money, and whereas they're scared of credit, they're scared of using credit to leverage anything, then once again, those individuals may have to cut up the credit cards because they have no control. See, they don't understand the power that credit cards can do for you. And yes, I've said it, credit cards can provide you with power, because like I said in the beginning of 2018, I said my goal is to show you how once you have gotten yourself out of your financial rut in terms of rebuilding your credit, eliminating some debt. Now it's time. It's time to leverage up. It's time to be able to make money using credit. And like I said, if this message is not common. If you have not heard a lot of people say this, is because most people only want you to have very elementary um, a very elementary relationship when it comes to money. And so that is why so many people subscribe to cut up the credit cards. Don't mess with no credit cards. Leave credit cards alone. Credit cards is the devil. Once again, is based on information, is based on knowledge. And so that leverage, how can it be used to help me to obtain more income, more cash flow, more money? Is the different forms of income. I did a video that I often talk about, why being debt free is flawed. Um, in that video, I talked about how um, even if you eliminate debt, if you have no income coming in, you will be back in debt just where you started. And so if you read the comments of the video, everyone is talking a very canned message. Oh, well, um, okay, that sounds good. See, Philip said he uses credit on everything, but pays them off every month. And so there you go. Now, Philip, my question is this: what I was saying. Um, are you using? Because see, Philip is saying he's using credit to pay for expenses. And don't get me wrong, it's a science to that because you can develop points and everything, and I get that. But let me ask you this, Philip. Now, are you using that credit to be able to bring in more cash flow into your household, or to buy assets that can um, bring cash flow into your household? So, so that is what I want to know. So ask yourself that, Philip. But going back to what I said, I said that in 2018 and going forward, many of us have only been taught. Okay, so see, Philip was very transparent. He said no. So let me just share this of income. And a lot of that is active income. Now, what does that mean? That means that you are exchanging hours for dollars. So, um, in order for you to bring in money into your household, you have to work a job, or you have to do some type of activity, whereas someone is going to pay you for the amount of hour. That is what 99% of the people in this country, maybe even all over the world, um, may, if you ask them, how do you generate income? They're going to tell you that. That is called active income. Now, what I want to start teaching people is is to start talking to people about passive income, residual income, and leverage income. And I know you may be wondering, well, Loretta, what does that have to do with credit? I'm going to share with you the relationship. Now, three incomes, passive, residual, and leverage, is income that, and that they can be created in different ways. And I'll do a video on that. Whereas you do an activity one time and it pays you continuously. Let me give you an example for myself. Many of y'all know that Amazon pays me residually. Every month I get a check from Amazon. The book is paperback and Kindle. I get a check every month for that book. Now, of course, it's not a check, it's actually digital money, so it goes directly into my bank account. That is considered um, residual income because that is an asset. My book is an asset, it creates money for me. I don't have to write a book every day for a certain amount of hours, for a certain amount of days, in order for me to get a check. As long as that intellectual property of mine continues to be sold to the marketplace, I will always get a check. And whether it's on Amazon or whether a person buys it from me, I get a check. Now, how does this relate to credit? When a financial institution or a financial financial institution who lends you money for a credit card, for a loan, for a line of credit, or what have you, they always have interest that is collected on the amount that you owe. So you're never going to have a credit card for $1,000, and unless you pay that off within a certain amount of time, then you won't pay no interest. But for example, let's use a line of credit, or let's use a bank loan. It is almost certain that, for example, with a loan, there is interest that is paid on the loan. And so not only do you have a duration of time of when that loan has to be paid off, on top of that, that is interest that is also being paid on that money. And so the financial institutions who have lent you that money understand that they are going to have money that is also going to create more money on top of the money they owe you. And if many of us looked at our households and our finances the same way, whereas what can I do that can pay me continually, or should I say, on something that always pays me? See, that's why I said you have to understand how the monetary system works, how the economics of this country work. And so when you understand that, now I know I may have lost some of you, but I'm making a point because I'm going to do more videos about this topic. A lending institution, a financial institution, is never going to just lend you a set amount of money and not have interest fee. So I'm going to probably go into wrap up. But why I wanted to say don't cut up your credit cards. Because see, the reason why individuals have been told to off their credit cards is because they've only been taught that there is only one source of income that they are supposed to be striving for. So they've been taught, and this is the knock jobs. Um, do this one activity and someone pays you to show up, or how many hours that you put to a particular activity to get paid. Many of us have not been told that we can now use our credit cards and to create more income for ourselves. I just told you, one of the watchers named Philip, like he pays his credit cards off every month, but he's not using credit to be able to bring income into your household. See, the experts aren't telling you that, you know, because if many of us knew that information, we wouldn't be a slave to the financial institutions that lend us money. We wouldn't be afraid of credit. We wouldn't be afraid of credit cards. We wouldn't be preaching, cut up the credit cards. Credit cards are the devil. Debt, I'm scared of debt. My thing is this. I do believe, yes, consumer debt is bad debt. If you're just, accumulating consumer debt, yes, that is bad. But if you are consuming debt that is going to produce you more money, you can't lose, you can't win. But you got to understand, in order to do that, you got to know the rules of the game. That is nothing to do lightly. And many of us don't know the rules of the game. Okay, I understand. So no problem, Philip. What I'm going to do is it's not your computer lagging. I actually am on a public Wi-Fi, and so I'm here at a hotel, so my Wi-Fi is a little blotchy. So I'm going to sign off, and like I said, I'll be talking more about this topic. So, see you in the next video. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to end this. Why do we want to get out of here? Sit down.